Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my little gun shop. My name's Lars Nelson, Wasilla, Alaska. I am not a full-time gun maker. However, I've got a number of years in the trade. My father has been a custom rifle maker his entire career, and I worked several years with him prior to moving to Alaska. Recently, my father shared with me a video or a article in the American Gunmakers Guild periodic publication that described the building of a checkering cradle. I thought it looked kind of interesting, so I set out to build it, and it's kind of a time-consuming project, but it came out well enough that I thought it might be worthy of a short video that might help somebody out somewhere along the way. Just a quick rundown of the construction. I started out with 2.5-inch round stock. I put some flats on it just for aesthetics. I turned a 1-inch hole through here and then bored it to size. I put a bronze sleeve inside, so there's a bronze sleeve. The actual shaft is 1 inch. And then it's threaded at the end. This is just a knob that I bought at Lowe's. It serves its purpose. Doesn't really have to do too much other than space it out so there's no in-play. So it's real nice and smooth on the bronze. So that came out very well. Note, bored these out to 1 5/16 OD for the pipe. The pipe is schedule 80, which is a little thicker wall than schedule 40, so I went with schedule 80. It is possible to make this too close tolerance. I did, and had a little trouble with it galling, trying to slide back and forth, so just a little judicious polishing, and that took care of that issue. So it's sliding back and forth very nicely. Now I also used a little dry lube that seemed to help as well. Just got a slit on the bottom here, and then a 3/8 cap screw you can see over on this side that actually cinches down on the lower post. This is just a 1/4-inch cap screw, which I just hand tighten. It seems to function at just tightening up, but I don't want to gall the post, so you might put something underneath that cap screw that wouldn't gall it and would actually work a little better. So we just finished it. There might be a couple of things that need to be tweaked, but overall it seemed like it came out pretty well. Center post, I might recommend on this, and I might still do it, just putting some neoprene, some sort of plastic or neoprene sleeves underneath this, something thin. Go ahead and bore the hole out a larger size and use that, because the fulcrum point, or the pivot point, has got to be able to slide back and forth really smooth. This is doing so right now. However, I think you might have to do something to help it along there a little bit. We will see. That's just a Wilton power arm that I bought on eBay. I have no idea how old it is. I'm going to guess pretty old. It's a 303. It's a hydraulic. They have a model, I believe, called the 301, which is not hydraulic. I thought about going that route. It's a little cheaper. I'm glad I went with the hydraulic. I think it makes for a lot better lockup. Very, very solid. And you can pivot the gun stock any direction you want. It's just gives you complete versatility. Moving on, the headstock, again, 1-inch steel sleeve. And then I never have been very happy with the way mine locked up. It just didn't lock up well, and so I wanted something that would be more positive. Most of the time you want it to rotate, but boy, when you want it to lock up, you want it to lock up. So I put this Tang safety on it, if you will. And anyway, I had the old gear laying around. See if I can make it work. I'm kind of at the wrong angle here, but if you find a tooth here, there. Anyway, it's easier to work when you're not holding the camera. It locks up very tight. gives you virtually no movement, and it's just a ball and spring affair underneath that. But I just had the old gear laying around, put it to use. Just slides up, locks it tight. The headstock itself aesthetically didn't come out very pretty, but works real well. I guess someday maybe I'll make it look prettier. But just a piece of high molecular plastic. Then it's got some leather wrapped around it. I took 2 pieces of very thick leather and glued them together so it'd be very rigid, and just wrapped them around, went ahead and screwed them into the plastic. It seems to work really well. I haven't had any problems with the buttstock moving around at all, what I've used it. I'm sure at some point I might run into, say, a shoot-string rifle or something that is not going to work, and I'll have to make some other arrangement. But this works really good. Other than that, 35 Whelen, 98 Mauser, been working on it quite a while. Forgot to talk about this. This is bought this material from a plastics dealer in Wasilla. It is not cheap. It's that was 3-inch diameter, and it was $75 for 1 foot. So you don't want to make any mistakes when you're turning it. It might be cheaper in the lower 48 due to the shipping issue, but its machinability is wonderful. You can just turn it into anything you want, but you don't want to make any mistakes if you can help it, because it is a little bit spendy. Total overall for the aluminum and everything was about $80. Hardware, hardware was probably another $15. Leather, that sort of thing. I don't think I'm out more than maybe $200 actual dollars for the completion of the checkering cradle itself. The checkering horse, for lack of a better term, I've always checkered standing up or sitting on a bar stool. Tends to get to my back a little bit, and this is a new endeavor for me. My father's always used a checkering horse, and conversely in recent years has gone to standing up when he checkers. So one may not be better than the other, but we want to have the facility to do both. I never made a trip to the store to build this. It was just a 2x6 framing timber and some 2x4, some 1x3, just strictly lumber I had left over. Used a handful of lag screws and glue to glue it all together, and then covered up all the lag bolt hole heads with lag bolt heads with some 3/4 inch dowel. Finally got a place for all my tools. It did incorporate a little box, something that my dad has never done on his, just trying to make a better mousetrap. Gives you a place for your layout tools. Then I had a piece of 8-inch maple that I bought at a woodcrafter store, and I just drilled a bunch of holes in it for pencils and X-Acto knives and some veiners, that sort of thing. So anyway, it kind of gets everything out where you can see it, and possibly use the right tool as opposed to the one that you don't see. So anyway, that is all. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Good day.